Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. In this 1 hour session, we are going to look a lot at chest openers and back bends. So it'll be a lot of movements drawing the shoulders back and movements that help to lengthen the spine. In particular, it's going to be your upper thoracic spine. We're doing these chest openers to strengthen the muscles behind your heart, called the rhomboids. And we're also doing the chest openers to stretch the muscles that lay over your heart. So this is to improve posture, but more importantly, improving the function of the heart. When these muscles get tight, they can constrict the function of the heart and the lungs. The spine extensions and back bends, we're working on these back bends to improve digestion, elimination, absorption of nutrients through the digestive tract, and also doing these spine extensions and back bends to help to promote a tall posture so that we correct all that gravity, all the tension that gravity puts on your body in the day. Also, when we work on a tall spine or lengthening the spine, there's more space for your disc, those spongy structures between the vertebra. There's more room for them to be able to breathe, in essence, and to absorb the shearing force of gravity. So I'm excited for us to get started. Let's get started. Go ahead and come into any seated or lying down position. If you're choosing to lie down, go ahead and grab a pillow or a blanket. Make sure your head and neck are comfortable. You can always lie down with your legs out straight. This does put the most pressure on your back. So if you want to take pressure off your back today, go ahead and bend your knees. Now from seated, we can always sit on a pillow and elevate the hips. And you can position your legs and knees in any way so that you feel you're able to maintain a nice, tall, seated posture. Now, once you come into your position, either seated or lying down, let's go ahead and take one hand over the heart. It can be left or right, just pressing gently with the palm of the hand to the center of the chest. And we'll take our other hand onto the belly. We're using the hands to actively feel for the breath today. Let's start with diaphragmatic breathing, and we're going to build it up into a 3-part breath. As you inhale, imagine your lower belly is like a balloon, and it's going to inflate when you pull air in through the nose. Inhaling in through the nose as much as possible, pressing the stomach into your palm. And then exhale, gently relax and maybe press the palm into the belly, encouraging the body to release any tension or any stress with every drop of breath. Let's inhale into the nose, pressing the belly into the palm of the hand. And then exhale, gently press the palm into your belly. Let's try this maybe 2 or 3 more times. Really pushing that stomach out. I know sometimes shapewear, yoga pants can be so constricting to the breath that you might feel that this requires some effort. So really try to push your abdominal wall out, round out that belly, and then exhale, soften, and gently press into the abdomen. Gentle belly press. Maybe just one more like this. You could always keep the breath low in your body, just a belly breath. Or maybe if you're curious, allow that breath to build up to your heart. Pressing the belly out, pause. Notice if you can build that breath into your chest. Lift the chest up into the top palm of your hand. On the exhale, press into your heart. Just a very gentle tap or a press. And then pull the stomach in, press into the belly. Inhaling, belly presses out. Breath is building up into your chest, lifting the heart. Exhale, relax the heart, and then relax the belly and stomach. So we've divided the breath up now into 2 parts, belly into the heart, and now heart and belly. Now the third part of this breath is actually under your armpits. So at any point, you can keep the hands where they are, or you can maybe cross your hands over under the armpits or put your hands beside you. So maybe the fingertips or the palms are pressing against the side of the chest and breast region. There are some larger lymph nodes here, so try not to press too hard, as this can maybe signal some tenderness in the breast tissue. Now, as we inhale, we push the belly out, build the breath up to your hands, try to flare out the ribs. Now bring the breath to your heart, lift the chest. Exhale, relax your heart, pull your ribs in, and then pull the stomach in. So you have a 3-part breath. Number 1 is the belly. Number 2 is under your ribs. Number 3 is at the heart. If this gets confusing, just remember belly, heart, heart, belly. Don't worry about the middle part. So just for today, let's experiment with that middle part. And again, you can always keep it simplified. Inhaling down into the belly, build the breath up into the hands on the side of the chest and breast, flare out your ribs, bring it to your heart, lift the chest, little back bend, and now exhale, relax the heart, pull in the ribs, and pull in the stomach. Inhaling belly, ribs, heart, exhaling heart, ribs, belly. Let's do this for maybe another mindful minute, working with these parts of the lungs and these parts of the breath. We're dissecting these unique parts of the body to encourage a little more space. As we make space in the body, we're releasing tension. We're able to promote healthy circulation, also helping to flush out toxins that may move out with the breath. Option to close the eyes and feel those unique places filling with the breath. Inhaling belly, side ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, pull in the ribs, relax the belly. Let's try just 2 more, rounding out about a minute of that breath. Belly, ribs, heart. Exhale, heart, ribs, belly. Now, when you're ready, keep the breath low in the body. We're attempting to let that breath really fill the stomach, maybe even a little bit up to the ribs, but we're avoiding any excessive movement in the chest for now. From wherever you are, let's go ahead and sweep the arms overhead. And you could be grazing the back of the hands along the floor to rise your arms up. It's the same type of movement you would make if you were making a snow angel on the floor. And for those of us who are seated, it's just like a jumping jack movement. As we exhale, we lower the arms down beside us, keeping a healthy bend in the elbows. Inhale, big breath in. Maybe straightening the arms once they're overhead. And then exhale, slowly bring it down. Elbows are deeply bent. Option to close the eyes, match the movement to the breath. So maybe pause at the top of your breath and notice when it's time to exhale. Then it's time to move. And then carefully sync up, timing the breath to the movement. Pausing just for a moment as soon as it's time to inhale, sweeping those arms overhead. Again, pacing it just so that your arms reach overhead while the lungs are full. And then exhale, slowly take it down. Let's graze those hands along the floor or sweep them overhead just a couple more times. Closing our eyes, remembering there's absolutely no rush here. You're following the rhythm of your own breath. So you may be moving faster or slower than me. Let's meet with our arms down beside us. Whether you're seated or lying down, go ahead and bend your knees. If you're seated, we may want to let the hands rest back beside the hips, and you could turn the fingertips a little bit out to the side. Whether you're seated or lying down, those knees are bent. Let's let the knees sway left and right. If there's any tenderness in your low back, just move with a very conservative range of motion. The bigger movement is not necessarily the better movement with this. So allow your body to maybe first start with half or 75% of what you perceive is your biggest range of motion, and then let the body ease into a bigger stretch. Let's try one more to each side, just gently loosening up the hips and low back. For those of us who are seated, let's sway those knees over to one side. Then go ahead and come down into lying on your side for just a moment. Let's all take a moment, find the breath in your belly. Mindful belly breathing. From our side, we roll onto our backs, all of us meeting in a supine position, lying on the floor on our backs with the knees bent. Let's hug the left knee in towards the chest, holding on the sides of the thigh or behind the knee, taking any pressure off of your kneecap. From here, as we draw that knee in close, pull it straight in towards the center of your chest. And hopefully we even get to feel a little bit of the thigh pushing on your lower pelvis and belly region. From here, release some of that tension. Take your left knee towards your left armpit, open it out to the side just a little bit. Press the right hip down into the floor. When you're ready, bring that knee to center again, straight in towards the heart, resetting that hip joint. From here, let's slowly relax that left foot down, drawing our right knee straight in towards the middle of the chest. Little lower belly compression with the thigh. Exhale, exhale from the throat. Mouth can be open or closed to exhale. Let's release some of that tension on the right leg. Take the knee out towards the side of the body and then pull that right knee in towards your right shoulder or towards the right armpit. Let's release that tension, bring the knee straight in again, resetting the hip and the low back. Heavy exhale. From here, let's lower both feet down, feeling the feet at either the width of your hips or maybe a little bit more narrow. From here, let's press our palms down into the floor beside our body. As we inhale, let's press into all parts of the feet and slowly lift your hips away from the floor into bridge. On the exhale, lower the hips down. Let's match the movement to the breath, waiting for the inhale to inspire the movement. When you're ready, inhale, press into the feet, keeping the toes spread, lifting the hips, engaging the glutes. Exhale, slowly lower down. Imagine a yoga block or a small beach ball between your knees. Squeeze in with the thighs without touching the knees. Dig down into the soles of the feet. Inhale, press up. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Let's try just one more, keeping the inner thighs engaged, pressing into the soles of the feet. Inhale, bridge flow. Exhale, lower down. Let's let our knees sway right and left a few times, loosening up the low back, loosening up the side of the buttocks region. That was just working for us. When you're ready, let those knees go all the way over to one side. We're lying on our sides just for a moment, giving our blood pressure time to stabilize. Use the top arm, use the hand pressing into the floor, slowly coming up. Let's find all fours position for cat and cow flow. Many of you know that you can do cat and cow from a seated position instead. You can do cat and cow from standing or even from a chair. It's a really versatile posture. From wherever you are, establish a healthy and comfortable alignment with your joints. So for the most part, one of the safest positions with the most amount of comfort is going to be called stacking the joints. So you have your knee directly under your hip, and then we have our wrist, elbow, and our shoulder in a straight line. You could come down onto your elbows if this is uncomfortable on your hands and wrists. No matter where that foundation is, as we inhale, we're dropping our belly, pushing the hips back. Let's all look straight ahead and lift the chin just a little bit. Pressing the shoulders back towards the hips. We're already working on a back bend. As we exhale, let's press into the palms and the knees, round the spine, tuck the tailbone under, pull the belly button up to the sky, and drop your head into cat. Let's hold cat pose, check in with the head and neck. Shake your head, yes. Turn the head left and right. Come to a still point, exhale from the throat. Give the body a big sigh of relief. When you're ready, inhale, coming into cow, flipping the hips back, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale into cat, round the spine, drop the head. Now maybe close the eyes and pay special attention to that fraction of a moment where you go from an inhale to an exhale, and then from your exhale to the inhale. And noticing if you can really mindfully pace the breath so that you're always moving through that inhale or through that exhale. You may only be still, maybe it's just for a fraction of a moment as you transition in those breaths. So the movement is staying very dynamic and very active through every breath cycle. Let's do one more of each. Inhaling cow, exhaling cat. Coming to all fours position. From here, let's slowly step 1 foot forward. And we may want to use a prop or put our hands up on our forward leg for support. We can always use a chair, a table, or a wall nearby for support. Let's tuck our back toe. And then you're going to shift forward, pushing your weight down into the front leg to lift that back knee and come up into standing nice and slow. From standing, let's take our feet maybe to the width of the hips or a little more narrow than hip width. Lowering our hands down as we inhale, we're sweeping the arms back and around, flowing the arms with the breath. Exhale, take the arms behind you. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, taking the hands back. Now, just like we did when we were lying down or seated, let's bend the elbows pretty deep. Lengthen the arms at the top of the breath. Exhale, deep bend in the elbows. Take it back. Then lengthen the arms out. Inhale. Elbow bend. Exhale. Just one more. Big breath in. Exhale down. On the next inhale, let's sweep just our left arm up. Just the left arm, reaching to the sky. Imagine you're trying to change out a light bulb. There's a little bit of rotation in that left hand. If there's any pain with this, bend your elbow. Sometimes there's pain in the shoulder when there's tightness in your neck or tightness in your biceps. We might think it's a rotator cuff, and maybe we do feel like the sensations or pain transfers there, but it's usually not the shoulder. It's It's going to be that upper deltoid into your neck, or it's going to be your biceps. From here, let's extend up with that left arm. Breathe into the upper part of your left lung. Now, try pressing into the outer blade of your left foot, imagining that you're stepping into very soft earth. We can look up, very traditional, used for strengthening the neck, or maybe take your gaze over the right shoulder, just a gentler neck stretch to work with gravity. Try bending your left knee, allowing that left hip to drop. This will create a contraction on the right side of the body, but we're not leaning to the right. There's an illusion of leaning over, but really what we're doing is we're reaching up, and all of this side bend is passive. One more big breath, reach. On your exhale, let's straighten the left leg. Slowly sweep that left arm down. Inhaling, taking the right arm back, up and overhead. Reaching dynamically. Already it might feel like you're bending to the side, but really all of the energy is in this big reach. This time you're screwing in a light bulb with the right hand. So there's a little bit of rotation in the palm. Breathe into your upper right lung. Exaggerate the breath. Now in this style of yoga, hatha, this is going to be identifying opposite energies. If we're reaching up, identifying what energy is pressing down. That's our right foot. So we're pushing down into the outside of that right foot. Maybe even close your eyes. Imagine you're stepping into sand or soft earth. To accentuate this, we can bend the right knee. It's going to drop that right hip. You can look up, strengthening the neck, or look over your left shoulder, working with gravity. Let's stay maybe just one more breath, working on lengthening the spine as much as possible. Big inhale. When you're ready, slowly straighten that right leg. Let's sweep that right arm back and around. Opening the palms, 3 flying breaths with the arms. Inhale up, exhale back and around. Just taking a little bit of time to maybe encourage some symmetry in the body since we just isolated the left and the right. Inhale, reach, pause at the top of the breath, reach with both hands, and then exhale, take it back and around. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. Anjali Mudra, seal of physical reverence. From here, stepping our left foot back, a very casual stride. We're bending our right knee, and the feet are still pretty close together in this stride. From here, let's take the arms up, back and around, and let those arms hang behind you by your hips and low back. From here, as you inhale, imagine you're holding on to a huge beach ball by your low back or hips, and you're pressing it just a little bit away from you. Imagine the breath is just going to stay in the middle of your chest. As you inhale, breathe into the heart. Pull the shoulders back and feel the chest pressing forward. Big exhale. The bigger the breath, the more we may need to lift the head. Big inhale. And exhale, relax. 2 more. Inhale, heart pulling forward, shoulders pulling back, lifting the chin. Exhale. Last one, big breath. Press into that imaginary beach ball. And now exhale. Let's inhale the arms overhead. Traditional warrior 1. Exhale, swan diving the hands down onto that right thigh. Let's straighten both legs, keeping a softness in the knees as we press the hips back behind us to find pyramid pose. We may want to stay with the head higher than the heart, heart higher than the hips. This is to promote a more balanced blood pressure. We can always experiment with walking the hands down, maybe even letting the hands touch the floor or a chair. Let's all relax the head and the neck, feeling as if you're getting a stretch in the neck just under the base of the skull. That's the position where you have eyes in the back of your head. So for anyone who maybe gets tension headaches or headaches behind the eyes, sometimes this helps to relieve that tension. It can come from this space in the back of your head. Let's all try at least one long exhale here from the throat. Inhale through the nose. Long exhale. Exhale like you're trying to fog a mirror. When you're ready, let's all bend that front knee. We'll walk our hands to the shin and then maybe take the hands up onto your right thigh. On the next inhale, with a flat back, arms go to the side. Let's reverse swan dive, reaching up towards the sky, traditional warrior one. When you're ready, bring the hands to the heart and step forward, finding your expression of mountain pose. From mountain pose, hands at the heart, Anjali Mudra. Let's soften our knees, stepping our right foot back. Casual stride for warrior one stance, keeping a healthy bend in your left knee. On the inhale, we're sweeping the arms back and around, reaching towards the sky. Big breath in, reaching with both hands, and maybe even just thinking a moment about the alignment of the hands. So your left hand, changing out a light bulb, right hand, screwing in a light bulb. There's a little bit of a twist and a lift through the hands. One more big breath. Exhale, take the arms back, reaching behind us. Thumbs are down, palms are still a little bit cupped in. Imagining that we're holding on to a huge beach ball, trying to press it away from your low back and hips. Breathing into the middle of our chest as we inhale. The heart is pressing forward. Shoulders and hands are pressing back. Big breath in, maybe even lift the chin. And then exhale, soften. Inhale, heart pulling forward, opening the throat. Exhale from the throat. Just one more. And exhale. Inhaling, arms coming up and overhead. Exhale, swan diving. Hands go onto the left thigh, leaning forward a little bit. Let's straighten that left leg, keeping both knees soft, pushing the hips back as we begin to lower down. We keep a flat back in our pyramid expression. Hold it here, check in with the low back. Notice if your spine, your back, is it in agreement with this stretch? Also notice your blood pressure. If you're feeling dizzy, come up a little bit. You don't have to stay so low. When you are ready, if you want to experiment with this, exhale, walking the hands past the knee to the shin. Maybe we relax our head and neck here. Maybe we touch the floor. No matter where we go with it, we relax the back of the head, relaxing that sweet spot just at the base of the skull where tension can collect. Let's try at least one long exhale with that ha breath. Exhale like you're fogging a mirror. Shake out the head and neck. Let's bend our front knee, walking the hands up to the shin. Lengthen the spine. Bring the hands up to the thighs. Spine is long. Slowly coming up, reverse swan dive, big breath in, holding warrior one just for a moment. When your body is ready, palms together, drawing them into the heart. Let's step forward, finding mountain pose. From mountain, go ahead and take your feet out just wider than the width of your hips. So you're coming into what we call a standing straddle position. Let's make sure that our feet are lined up in such a way where the toes are facing forward. The edges of our feet are going to be parallel with the edges of your yoga mat. or maybe parallel to a wall. Let's straighten the legs out. If the knees are starting to bend heavy, that's usually a sign that there is some tightness going on in your back. If your knees are hurting or if your knees are bending, go ahead and bring your heels in and turn your toes out for the next few movements. From wherever you are with those feet, the legs stay straight. There is a softness in the joint to maintain healthy circulation, but the legs are never locked out. From here, let's bring our arms forward. Turn your thumbs down so the palms are pressing out and the knuckles are in. It's a similar movement that you would have for swimming. As we inhale, let's press back, just like you're cutting through the water, pressing back, thumbs down, bringing the palms together by our low back. Some of us may want to lace the fingertips here, or you could have the hands by your low back, so knuckles touching the back with the palms open. In cases where maybe there is some tenderness in your shoulders, you could bring the hands up by your low back or keep them by your hips for comfort. No matter where your upper body is with this, let's all practice bringing the shoulders up for a moment. Pull the shoulders back. Imagine you're trying to hold a pencil or a golf ball behind your heart, between your shoulder blades. Or maybe just take a quick breath if you're surprised. The same sensation you would have if somebody was to slip a cold ice cube down the back of your shirt. There's a quick contraction, pulling the shoulders back and bringing the heart open and forward. From here, let's drop those shoulders down. Inhale, open the throat and lift the chin. Breathe into the center of the chest, at least 3 exaggerated big inhales. The bigger the breath, the more we may want to lift our head. The bigger the breath, the more the lungs will support your back bend. Big inhale into the nose. Exhale from your throat. Inhale into the nose, lifting the chest. Exhale from your throat. Just one more, big breath in. Holding it here, we may want to stay and focus on that standing back bend, or press your hips back and lower down, maybe just a third of the way, maybe halfway at the most, working with a low back and hip strengthener. Try shifting the weight into the front of your foot while keeping the heels anchored down to the ground. Let's check in with our kneecaps. Make sure the knees can do a little wiggle. That way we know that the joints are not locked out. So locking out usually causes a lot of damage over time. It can also cause you to pass out. So keep those knees soft. From wherever you are, relax your head and neck. Release the hands. Let those hands come down, and they can support the spine, hands on the thighs. We can support the spine, hands on the shins, or we can kind of hang loose like a rag doll. If your hands are not touching the floor, they can hang loose. You can even try holding on to your biceps. So you can cross the arms over and just let the arms hang out with the upper body. Let's imagine that the breath moves to the back of the heart. Inhale, breathing to that space between your shoulder blades. And then exhale, soften. Imagine you can breathe under the armpits, into the ribs. And then soften. Breathe into your low back. And now soften. From here, let's bring our hands to our shins or thighs. Start to soften the knees, just a little bigger of a bend, just for a moment. Pushing into our arms and legs to come to a flat back, neutral spine. When you're ready, reverse swan dive, loading all of that energy into your feet. Bring it up to standing. And now relax the arms and bring the feet together. From here, let's draw hands to the heart, taking the weight into your right foot. Let's lift our left heel. Open the left knee out to the side and maybe rest your left heel on the inside of your right ankle, finding tree pose. So this is a much more conservative expression of tree. You are more than welcome to experiment with sliding that foot up past your knee onto the thigh. That's the more traditional version people are used to seeing. Maybe just for today, we keep the foot low, and instead of trying to balance on one leg, maybe we experiment with balance by closing our eyes. To do this, you may want to lower your head, step firm into the inside blade of your right foot, pull the muscles up in the pelvis. Those same muscles that support your bladder also support the pelvis and low back. So we're pulling up the energy of Mula Bandha, the root block energy. Keeping our chin lowered, we can close the eyes, and as soon as we close our eyes, we might notice that the body feels pulled in different directions. Notice your body has a tipping point. Everybody's body has a tipping point. So just maybe allow yourself to be ever so subtly pulled and then correct that course, centering the body with your breath. Open your eyes at any time. That can really help the body to feel more safe. And then maybe close the eyes just for a moment. This is a specific technique used to work with peripheral neuropathy, helping the body to efficiently digest different types of sensory stimuli so that the body knows how to respond to changes in the environment. And that change can be closing your eyes. That change can be when you're walking and maybe there's just a shift in the incline of the sidewalk. It could be really anything at all. When you're ready, slowly relax your hands. Let's step onto both feet. Let's just march in place a little bit and give the body a little time to digest the sensation of being fully supported on both feet. Let's touch our toes together. Hands are coming to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Feeling our weight pressing into the left foot, especially into the inner blade of that foot. Let's peel up our right heel. Turn that right knee out to the side, and our right heel can rest on the inside of the left ankle. Continue to press into that inner blade of the left foot. Remember, it's your practice, it's your choice. You can keep the foot where it is or bring it up above the knee so that foot can go anywhere above or below your knee. Avoid any pressure on the knee itself. No matter where you are, you have the option to lower your head, close your eyes. Continuing to pull the muscles up in the pelvic floor. Noticing any tipping points, noticing when the body feels just pulled. It could be just very subtle energy that kind of pulls you forward, back, left, and right. Notice those subtle shifts and allow your body to correct that course to keep you balanced. If you wobble over a little bit, that's okay. That's part of the learning process. Just jump back into the pose. When you're ready, let's open our eyes. Let your feet come down. Relax your hands. Let's shake out the legs. From here, we are coming down to the floor. If you want to grab a quick sip of water or grab some extra supplies, this is a good time for that. To safely come down to the floor, we usually suggest that you have some sort of a prop or means of support for your body, something you can press your hand into. We take one leg back, bending both knees, supporting with your hands, and then take the other leg back. And from here, we can come around and sit down on the floor. Once we make our way down to the floor, let's go ahead and cross your right ankle over the left ankle. And you may want to stay seated just like this. So this is our crisscross seated position, crisscross applesauce, as they say in kindergarten. You can stay with the right ankle in front of the left. The knees might be really, really high. That's okay. We want to meet the body where it is. If your body is comfortable with taking the knees down, go ahead and do so. Another option is to take your left leg out straight, cross the right leg over the thigh, and then maybe bend that left knee so that you have a different type of crisscross with the legs. Knee can stay high or the knees can open up. We're finding a foundation for cow's face pose. So no matter what you choose, we just want to hopefully get the right leg over the left or the right ankle in front of the left ankle. This has to do with the arrangement of the nervous system and improving coordination between your brain and your body. No matter where you are with that foundation, let's open our left hand. Inhale, pull it back and around, and then pat yourself on the back with that left arm. Let's take our right hand forward as if we're going to shake someone's hand. Turn the thumb in, the palm is down. Now turn that thumb all the way down, and it's as if you're swimming again. You're going to press back with that right arm, bending the elbow, allowing the knuckles of the right hand to rest at your low back. Another way to express the pose is to bend that right elbow deeply, and you might even touch your fingertips together behind you. From wherever you are, think of moving the arms and the elbows like a big morning yawn. It's that sensation of just a big open chest. So right here, we're opening chest expansion and we're encouraging length in the spine. Let's all lower the chin down just a little bit, taking any pressure off of your head and neck, really saturating the energy in that middle and upper spine. Breathe deeply into the center of the chest. The deeper the breath, the more the lungs will expand, and the more we'll be able to encourage that stretch in the chest with even less effort. All of the work is in the breath, and the body will follow naturally. One more big inhale. Exhale to safely come out. Let's first take any tension out of the shoulders. Maybe relax your right hand down and then release the left hand out beside you. Let's turn the palms down onto the floor outside our hips and lean forward just a tiny bit. This could create more sensation in your back and hips. It is a hip stretch. Breathe into the low back, middle back, upper back. Exhale from your throat. On your next inhale, keep the head down. Inhale, slowly come up. Stack the lower back, middle back. Last of all, lift the head and the neck. Let's take our time to uncross the legs and do this on the other side. So beginning with the foundation. You might look different when you switch sides. Hips have very unique identities in the body, so it doesn't have to look the same. So step one is to start by crossing the left ankle over the right ankle. Maybe the knees are up really high, maybe the knees open up. Letting go of any judgment. Lots of people have tight hips, so if your hips are achy, keep those knees up. We want to meet the body in a comfortable foundation. As an alternative, you could straighten the right leg out, cross that left leg over, and then maybe shift to your right hip, bend the right knee, and then bring it around. This is more of what we call a Turkish twist foundation. Finally, we can work on opening the thighs and stacking the knees, keeping the feet out beside us for more of the traditional expression of cow space foundation. Let's open our right hand. Inhale, circle it back and around. Pat yourself on the back. Take the left hand forward as if you're going to shake someone's hand. Turn the thumb in, palm down. And now turn the thumb down as if you're going to press water away, as if you're swimming. You're pressing back, bend the elbow, and let the knuckles rest by your low back. Option to bend that left elbow a little more, and we might even touch the fingertips together. This is a great pose to introduce a yoga strap into. If you don't have a yoga strap, you could always have a belt or even usually a tie to a robe, or even an old men's tie is pretty sturdy for this. From here, it's the same expression as a yawn to encourage a tall spine. Big inhale. Opening up. Press that left hip down. Pull up from that right armpit. Press the right hip down. Pull that left shoulder back. Breathe into the center of the chest. The bigger the breath, the more we're going to lift the head and open the throat. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. Safely coming out of the pose, let's take any tension out of your left shoulder and then the right. Palms are down beside us, outside the hips. Lean forward just a little bit and relax the head. 3-part breath along the sides of your spine. Breathe down into the low back, to the middle back, up to your shoulder blades. Exhale, relax the shoulders, the middle back, and now the low back. Keeping the head down, let's slowly stack the spine, stack your low back and middle back. Last of all, lift the head. From here, let's uncross our legs so that we can safely make our way down to lying on our sides. From the knees bent position, let your knees sway left and right, and then go ahead and let those knees sway to one side and bring yourself down to the floor. So this is a transition some of us did earlier today when we were seated in our warm-up, and then we decided to lie down. From sideline, we roll onto our backs, hopefully keeping blood pressure happy. Let's draw both knees up to the chest and hold on behind the thighs. Open the knees wide, maybe stretch those legs up to the sky, flatten through your feet. This is a pose the body already did standing today. It was a standing straddle. Some of us had our heels in and our toes out. Some of us had the toes forward, feet parallel to the mat. No matter where you are with this, take those legs out only as wide as your hips and back permit. Keep your feet active. Go ahead and point and flex the feet. Keeping those feet and ankles nice and active. Roll out the ankles. Working out any little pops. Working out any kinks in the joint. At some point, let those feet relax. Let's bring our knees in towards the armpits, coming into happy baby pose. From here, you could always hold on to the backs of the thighs, or if you want to experiment, just out of curiosity, try reaching towards your toes or towards your feet. You can always take your peace fingers and put them between your big toe and second toe. Then wrap those fingers around your big toe. Take the thumb over the top of your big toe so that your thumb is touching the knuckle of your index finger. From here, we can pull down on the feet, drawing those knees closer to the armpits. And we might even rock a little bit side to side, just for fun. Try closing your eyes. Soften through the low back and hips. Staying maybe just another breath or two, just working in a nice big stretch through the pelvis and hips. Stay here as long as it feels right for your body. From here, we are bending the knees, bringing the knees to center, and then letting your feet come down to the floor. Now let your body move in any natural way. So some of us, our body might be craving a little more twist. Some of us, our bodies may want to stretch out like a stick. So you can just stretch all the way out. Give your body at least a minute to move around in any natural way, eventually moving into a place where you're able to embrace stillness for your final relaxation. If you know that you tend to fall asleep at this time, you may want to sit up. If you know you tend to fall asleep, you may want to set a timer. That way we can end class and you can just lay there a little longer. You don't have to rush up. From wherever you are, bring all the awareness to the breath. Start to slow down the exhale. For the next mindful minute, try inhaling into your nose for a count of 3. Exhale as if you're going to whistle or blow bubbles for a count of 6. So maybe you need just a little bit of a general guidance as to the rhythm of the breath. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, purse your lips like you're blowing bubbles. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can count faster or slower to help to stretch out that cycle of breath, accommodating your energy. Let's try this for about a quiet minute. Inhaling a count of 3, exhaling a count of 6. Exhaling slow, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, just let the body stay at ease from here. If you think you want to sit up as we round out this hour together, just please take your time. From wherever you are, you can place the hands over your heart or over your belly. Let's draw in a deep, unifying breath together. Then you can let it go with a sigh. From here together, we can close, everyone. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. I will see you all next week.